When did humans first start getting high? Picture this. You're an ancient hunter. You've spent all day searching for food. You're exhausted, hungry. You find a pile of fruit that's been baking in the sun for days. You eat it. A little while later, something feels different. The world seems lighter. Your friends won't stop laughing, and without realizing it, you may have just experienced one of humanity's very first highs. Long before cities, long before writing, long before civilization itself, humans were already discovering ways to change the way their minds felt, and once they did, they never stopped. The first high. Nobody invented alcohol. Nature did. Fruit naturally ferments. All it takes is sugar, wild yeast, and enough time. The oldest evidence of people intentionally making alcohol comes from ancient China around 7000 BC. Archaeologists found pottery jars that once held a fermented drink made from rice, honey, and fruit. But here's the interesting part. If people were already making it on purpose, someone had already discovered what happened when you drank it, probably by accident. Picture the moment. Remember those strange fruits we found yesterday? Yeah? Let's make more. Humanity had just discovered a recipe worth repeating. Then we learned to smoke. Thousands of years later, people weren't just drinking anymore. They were experimenting. At ancient burial sites in Central Asia, archaeologists discovered stone braziers containing traces of burned cannabis. The evidence suggests it came from unusually psychoactive plants, and these weren't ordinary campfires. They were funerals. People likely believed the smoke helped them connect with the dead or the spiritual world. Even the Greek historian Herodotus described the Scythians sitting inside smoke-filled tents until they shouted with joy, which might just be history's oldest recorded trip report. Then came tobacco. When Europeans arrived in the Americas, they thought they were discovering a new world. Instead, they found a plant indigenous peoples had already been using for thousands of years, not for parties, for ceremonies, healing, prayer. When Columbus's crew first saw people smoking rolled tobacco leaves, they had no idea what they were looking at. Within a century, tobacco had spread across much of the world. The joy plant. Then there was opium. The ancient Sumerians had a name for the poppy, the joy plant. Subtle wasn't really their style. Ancient Egyptian doctors used opium to relieve pain. Sometimes they even gave it to crying children. Yes, children. Medicine has changed a lot over the last few thousand years. Why do we keep doing this? Here's the strange part. Completely different civilizations, separated by oceans and thousands of years, kept asking the same question. What happens if I change the way my mind feels? Why? Maybe because shared intoxication helped people bond. Some researchers even think beer may have helped early communities cooperate long before modern governments existed. Or maybe altered states were seen as a way to reach the divine. For much of history, religion and intoxication weren't always separate. Sometimes they were the same ritual. Or maybe the answer is much simpler. Humans have always been curious. The brain rewarding your morning coffee runs on biological machinery that evolved long before civilization. The hardware is ancient. We've just become very creative with the software. The part that never changed. Every generation thinks its drugs are different. Every generation thinks the next generation's drugs will destroy civilization. The Romans worried about alcohol. Some rulers tried banning coffee. Others outlawed tobacco. History has heard this argument again and again and again. Because humans have always searched for ways to escape pain, celebrate joy, connect with each other, or simply satisfy curiosity. That urge isn't modern, it's prehistoric, which means the next time someone says getting high is a modern invention, remember the ancient hunter standing in the sun, wondering why yesterday's fruit suddenly made the whole world feel a little funnier. We've changed our tools, we've changed our civilizations, we've even walked on the moon, but the human brain has been chasing the same feeling for thousands of years.